I think it kind of stems into that whole anxiety discussion, doesn't it? I've described it as, you know, that black cloud that sort of follows you around everywhere. And sometimes some people are in it. Some people have wormholed to depression. Otherwise, as an adult, you're usually just in front of it, or you're in it and you're trying to get out of it. I treat that sort of thing like a toxic friend. You know that friend that we all have? That toxic friend that you have a really good time with when you go out on a sesh or like drinking or whatever. And he's always fun in the moment, but when you're with this person, you always get up to shit that you shouldn't do. Like, and there's always the aftermath. You have those really cringe out memories of what you did the night before, and you have to live with that for the rest of your life. And basically, that toxic friend is like...
Ready for another sesh?
That's what this thing is behind me, basically. And whenever it's like peering its head round...
You ready for another sesh, mate? You ready? You ready to go? You ready to go?
I'm like, no, I'm doing this. I'm streaming tonight. Whereas if I'm just gaming without... I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, I'm free. Let's deal with all this. And then you're in it. And it sucks. So that's how I deal with this. It's like...
You ready? You ready to get back on it?
And I'm like, no, I'm doing this, mate. I don't want to do that. That's what's happening right now. I'm staying in front of it, but I'm going at 1,000,000 miles an hour so that thing doesn't catch up with me. So I'm basically not thinking. It's great. Thinking sucks. In a way, streaming is a way for you to turn your head off. Yeah, my head isn't turned off, but it's a way for me to do something like this and be productive about it, if that makes sense, which I know sort of defeats the point. You're not really meant to be thinking, but it's the only way I can really do it. Which is a little sad, but Ben hates it. Ben hates me for it. He's like,
come play some games with me.
I'll do it for half an hour. I don't really want to do it for anything more than that. Yeah, you're still productive, but also relaxing in a way. Yeah, it's nice just talking to friends. Yeah, it's weird, that analysation of like how it's your toxic friend, because he's always there asking like,
when are you going to be ready for your next session?
and I'm just like, sorry mate, I'm doing this right now. And then when next time he asks, I'm like, oh sorry mate, I'm doing this. And if like anytime I might get he might catch me off guard if I'm like doing something on my own that I shouldn't be doing. But just like, I'm just on my own sort of relaxing, and he pops his head round. It's like, well, I can't really say no. So then it just sort of swallows me. And then, but if I've always got something to do, then it's, oh, sorry, mate, I'm doing this right now. Can't do that. So it just makes it a little bit easier. A little bit easier to keep on top of myself. I'm not going to label what that black thing is as anxiety or depression or anything like that. It's there. I don't know what it's not depression. I've seen depression. It's not that. It's certainly something that I think can lead to that, if that makes sense. It's not depression. I don't think I'm depressed or will be depressed because I've seen what that looks like. That's not what I have. I'm not going to spread that I do have that. I just like to keep ahead of it, you know. Keeping ahead of it just keeps me out of it, and not necessarily label it. I think it could. I think I do have a level of anxiety. That's what keeps me going. So, like 100 miles an hour, and I think a healthy amount of anxiety is actually quite good, but that's just my own personal opinion. Having it too much is obviously too little, and having it not at all is also just as destructive. I don't think what I was talking about relates to like just men either. I think both men and women have the same amount of of shit to worry about, but it's just different shit to worry about, if that makes sense. I think we're all just as fucked as each other, but in different ways. I don't think it's obviously men's suicide rates are up, and sexual harassment is up. I think we all just need to help each other where we can. I don't think one of us is worse off than the other, because we've both got shit that's fucked, but just different shit that's fucked. That's my own personal opinion.
Men's
anyway.
suicide rate is higher than women's,
it
I
is,
believe.
but women have other shit that's going on. Like, for example, when I go out on a night out, I'm not thinking, holy shit, I'm walking alone at night, I have to be really fucking careful, I'm thinking kebab. So that's what I mean by there's different things that we worry about. What I'm trying to say is it's not a men versus women thing. I think we've all got different things that we worry about that equals to the same amount of we're all equally fucked. And that's it. I'm not backing up this with any sort of like evidence, so you can just tell me to shut up if you want. This is just my very inexperienced observation. Got quite deep. Yeah, no, quite. I think this is the only stream highlight I'm going to put in. I think it's quite an important topic to talk about. I think I've found my way of dealing with my shit, which is just staying ahead of it. I just play music and play games and talk about Star Wars.
Everything to deal with all your shit alone.
I've actually been so much further ahead of it than I ever have been because I'm dealing with it on my own. I don't know how else to explain that. Because I've become so independent now, I've sort of felt better about myself and how I'm doing. Entitlement is the worst thing. Talking about it now is actually helping. Like just keeping it alive. Letting the toxic friend know that he's still there and I don't want to talk to him, but he's still going to come up to me and be like,
Come on. Let's do it.
yeah, being independent has really helped. Getting out of my family's house has really helped with whatever that thing is. More independent, I'm taking control of my life.
Moving our home massively already, even though I've just moved out.
Oh, it does though, doesn't it? As soon as you move out, that first week of getting your shit together is so refreshing. And then you're just like, oh my god, I'm on my own. I have to actually do shit for myself now. That shit's important, man.